Welcome back to the West Ham Network. Sorry, my camera is all ski with. Is that a word? Is that a word you use down south? Down south. But the sun's shining right in my face again, and I'm going to have to get something to block it. But anyway, welcome back to the channel. This is what happens when you do go live. But West Ham United make the trip to Denmark to face Silkeborg, if that is the proper pronunciation, on Thursday evening, looking to build on our positive start to Europa Conference League group stages campaign. And on the same evening that West Ham fought back to defeat FCSB, Silkeborg went down to a late goal against Anderlecht in Belgium. However, as we always do in these shows, we have to give the opposition a little bit of their place. So let's talk the opposition. Let's talk Silkeborg. Now, West Ham are no strangers to facing Danish opposition this season, having already played Viborg in the playoff rounds, prevailing a 6-1 aggregate win. And as it stands, Viborg currently are 2 points clear of Silkeborg in the domestic standings, arguably an indication of the level of the opponent that West Ham will be playing on Thursday evening. Now, a little bit about Silkeborg. Former Aston Villa and Denmark defender Kent Nielsen, who also won, there he is in his Aston Villa strip, and he also won the Euros in 1992 with Denmark, is the coach, the first team manager of Silkeborg, and they have lost 5 of their last 8 matches in all competitions. The most recent of those being away to Anderlecht last week, as Fabio Silva, that man who used to play for Wolves, who is now currently in Anderlecht, scored an 80th minute spot kick to decide the contest in Belgium. And on a more positive note, Nielsen witnessed his team return to winning ways at the weekend as they posted a 1-0 victory over their opponents. Now, I know there's people in the comments. I will jump into the comments in a second, so bear with me as well. Now, Nielsen made only a couple of changes for the win at the weekend, and it would come as no surprise that the players who dropped out for that game potentially return here as well. So Nielsen's squad is almost exclusively made up of Danish players, including towering former Aston Villa centre forward. Let me see if I've got his picture ready for you. Yes, I do. Nicholas Helenius, and highly rated winger Sebastian Jorgensen. So apologies for my pronunciation. Now, Jorgensen has been banging the goals in. He is a good player. He's got a lot of potential for the team. Let me see. I've got some more of his stats here. He looks likely to have a big, bright future for Silkeborg as well. He played 32 games last year in the league, scoring 11 and assisting 9 in the league. And his first, and you could question and say his first real test in senior football. He's played 7 games so far in the league, scoring 2 and assisting 1. But his ability just doesn't stop with his attacking threat. He contributes defensively with 100% of aerial duels won. He has a great leap on him, considering he is only 6 foot tall for a striker. So he does get himself around and about and heavily involved as well. Now, he scored on his recall to decide, putting him in line to start the game against West Ham. Another player that they expect to come back into the mix is Andre Caliser, who will retain his spot in the centre of the back line. Now, listen, there's no point in us going too far in depth about the opposition. We've looked at them. We've seen what they're capable of doing. We're going to have a stat attack coming to you for tomorrow, where Matt will be giving everything you need to know about them. So I hope you are enjoying that content as well. But as we do, we love to talk about our own beloved team, West Ham. So we'll come on to that in a second, but I'm going to jump into the chat and see who is kicking about. Papa Firth. Good man. Thanks for joining us. Jim Ferguson as well from Australia. James Bond, good afternoon. All you Jet Set Irons and Ironheads, love it. Richard, good to see you, my man. Hope you're well. Browser Studios, hello. Is there still an echo on the sound? Please let me know if there is. Peter is saying good afternoon, Antoinette, and everyone in the chat room. All ski with, aka Wonky. Yes, absolutely, it was. Afternoon from Spain again. Hi, Ludders. Hope you are well. Afternoon to you, Hammer Time 666. Alberta, Canada. Look at this. We're multinational West Ham network as well. Listen, if you haven't already, go and check out the My Hammers 11 that Russ did live last night with Peter Butler. What a great show. Again, really good content and good insight into what it was like playing for West Ham back in the day as well. So make sure you do go and check that out. Both Silkeborg and Everton are must-win games if we're going to get going this season. Ski with in it over land and sea in force as well. Good evening from Melbourne, Australia. God, that sun's really annoying me. Come on, you irons, not Hellenius. Who the good afternoon, Hammers. Hope you're well. Happy Hammerette. Good to see you kicking about as well. The favourite Darlington fan is back. Hope we are well. We are all talking to each other. Essex as well. And Helen is saying no echo to Anton. Now, listen, as we do, I've brought you the man that you're all asking for. I've gotten loads of comments saying, when are you bringing him back on a regular occasion? Now it's 3 weeks in a row. I've brought him back 3 weeks in a row. So let's go and listen to the reason why I support West Ham and the reason why, you know, he's just got a good West Ham bit of knowledge. And I thought, you know, I'm going to bring him in to talk to you about the club he loves as well. And it's my dad, Mr. Jim Baker. So go across there and enjoy this chat. And I'll be back to you after when me and my dad finish having a chat. Okay, see you soon. Again, discussing the game coming up with my dad. We managed to sit and watch the game. You know, I listened at the end of the day. Brief note on it. We didn't know if the game was going to go ahead because obviously within the hour before the situation with the Queen came out but the game did go ahead, and it was a nice tribute at the start from West Ham.
Yeah, I think that was a fantastic tribute. I mean, all the talk about so-called fans of football perhaps being disrespectful, we proved that completely wrong, as was shown on the main news. They actually put it on the main news that how the fans have reacted. So that was a good thing from West Ham.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Now, you know, game of two halves really for West Ham wasn't the best of first halves for us. I don't know what it was. It was like a bit of edginess really in the football. I mean, what can you put it down to? I mean, we had the playoff games. We beat Viborg. We beat them quite convincingly. But in the first half, what was going on in your head? What do you think it was?
I don't know, but I don't know if it's a little bit of complacency, perhaps thinking, you know, we were going to just go into this conference league and waltz our way through, and without even any problems, we come up against a Bucharest team there that didn't allow us to do it in the first half. I felt they matched us really in the first half. We pretty poor. We were. That's the best way to describe it.
I think that's probably right. I think for me it was West Ham that weren't playing that great as such. But you know, I want to come on to a particular player. Obviously, you can see in the title, it's double trouble. Scamacca, Antonio. A game of two halves really for them. But I've seen a lot of people kind of having a bit of a dig at Scamacca. Now, I'm not saying I'm listening to social media, but you know, Scamacca's come off of a bit of he's not been feeling that great. I think some gum disease thing he had, and you know, kind of a flu-ish effect, and that can knock you for six. Now, what I will say about him was he found himself in really good positions in the park. He just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net.
No. And when you look at what he has done in Serie A, that's an unusual situation for him, because if he found space in the Italian league and puts the ball away, his shots bang away, heading away. So he's not quite settled in, but he wasn't well. I mean, the thing is just to accept that he wasn't well. And in high stake games like Premiership games or European games, if you're not feeling good, and you're perhaps a couple of degrees down on how you're really feeling, it affects your play, and that's what it did.
100%, it definitely did. But then the positive to it was, and I did a bit of analysis on it, was his positioning. His positioning was fantastic for a player that hasn't been that great. So that gave me loads of positives to think about.
I think so.
Especially as a striker, you know, your main striker. You can see now why a run of games is really important for a player like Scamacca.
He's not embedded into the team just yet, but once he does get them games under his belt, then I think he's going to be good.
Now, the second half saw West Ham make 3 substitutions. One of the particular substitutions was Scamacca coming off for Antonio. and Antonio had a fantastic game for us in the second half, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I mean, he just came on his usual self, bullying his way through the defenses, using all his muscle power, running like he always runs. Running morning, noon, and night for the team.
He was, and I think that's. We really see the benefit. We really see the benefit. He's been calling for support for such a long time.
Yeah.
But we really see the benefit of that support when we see an Antonio that's rested.
Yeah, I think that's true. The problem being it, of course, that even though he was rested, he still had to come and make the difference in the second half. Yeah. It wasn't as such that we'd edged forward with a couple of goals in the first half to give him that opportunity to come on and expand on that. He had to come on and make a win and change the whole thing, which he did. He changed the dynamic in the second half. Yeah. No question of that.
He really did. And what I found really interesting was that even though he played up top and he got the goal and he got an assist, etc., most of his game he spent out on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
And he really caused that defense all over the defense, but in particular out on the left-hand side, like they really couldn't cope with him. No. He was full of energy. He was going at them, like you said, and he was really causing them problems, which leads me to another point. Something about, the title of the show, Double Trouble. We've not had Premier League game. We're coming on the back of 2 Europa Conference League games. You're seeing the best of 2 players there. A lot of people are saying they would like to see Antonio out on the left and Scamacca up top. And if it's not working, then you can take one off or the other. Is there any mindset in trying to go hell for leather and putting the 2 of them on the park at the same time? Or is Moyes not risk averse, but is that a tactical decision that doesn't need to be done yet?
Well, I think if we're playing a team that, if he's done his homework on the team, I don't know much about this team, but if he's done his homework on the team and he perhaps feels they're not such a top side, then he might go with 2. He might. I don't think he'll start with 2. He's never going to start with 2. I don't think so. But if the position was 0-0 half time, or perhaps just 1 up or something, why not try the 2? Why not put the 2 on?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I've always kind of thought about, you've got impact players, like players that come on in the second half and make a big difference. That's what happened in the first leg. And a lot of people say, don't start with that. But if you were to look at an option, then bring someone on. But I'm kind of intrigued about the world of Antonio starting out on the left with Scamacca starting up top, because if we are going to give Scamacca game time, and to get fitter and better and more game time, he needs to play borderline a full 90 minutes. He needs to play the full 90 minutes. So as long as he's feeling okay, there is a mindset for putting Scamacca up top, playing Antonio out on the left to be the support mechanism if and where need be. But like you said, I'm not so sure Moyes needs to, so he might not.
Yeah, he might not. But let's remember one thing. I mean, Antonio himself has always been used to playing on the wing. I mean, that's how he started his career. Well, he started his career as fullback, but when he developed his career, he went to play out on the wings, which he does brilliantly well because of his running power and everything that you said before about what he can do. He can terrorize the defense through the middle or down the wing, speed down the wing, muscle power through the center. So I mean, having him on with Scamacca, I don't think would be a problem, because I mean, what the difference? He plays out on the wing, Scamacca plays through the middle, and they give it a try. If it doesn't work, fair enough.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see what you do. Put your comments in and let us know your thoughts on potentially double trouble Scamacca and Antonio starting. Another player though, who was really effective and I'm really excited about, and I think you are as well, is Corney. I think he seems to be that kind of. He's on his front foot all the time. He's always thinking forward. He's always kind of bridging that gap between the midfield and the forward. So if Antonio was to play, would that have an effect on Cornet playing? And I think Cornet's the sort of player that I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of, especially after the international break, because I think we've got 9 games in October. So we're going to have to really utilize the squad. But, if it wasn't for players like Cornet, we wouldn't have been in that position where he went ahead and won the penalty. The goal that we should never have chopped off against Chelsea.
With his head as well. Yeah. I mean, he was outstanding player, Cornet. I think a great by him. He was good when he moved to us. He was good before. But in our team, I think he'd be a brilliant asset to have. Yeah.
And the thing is with this game, Silkeborg, right? If you haven't already, go and check out the video that Matt did. The stat attack. I think that's actually coming out over the next couple of days or hours. Or I don't know when it's actually scheduled, but we'll let you know when that is. But what's interesting about the opposition is that it's the second game now in the league. We've got 3 points. Anderlecht won their first game.
Yeah.
Moyes is off to a good start, and that's what he wants.
Yeah.
Now you're into the second game. Now you're into a bit of business land. So you don't want anyone else to bridge a gap over you. So it's really important you try and get a victory on the board here.
So, yeah.
And you could use this victory, if you get a victory tomorrow, to burst you into the league game against Everton at the weekend.
Yeah.
Winning the game on Thursday evening against Silkeborg away from home is huge for West Ham, isn't it?
Very huge. Yeah, yeah. Because of what we did last year, and as you've just said that, and expanding on that point, I mean, if we can get a second win and put 6 points up in, then we're well versed. And because the pressure, let's not forget it, the pressure is on us in the league. So we've got to try and see if we can. If we want European football, let's get the points on the board in that league, and then concentrate and get some points in the Premier League.
Yeah, because we come into October and we play Anderlecht twice in quick succession. So, if you can beat Silkeborg and it's going to be tougher opponents against Anderlecht. You've got a couple of players we know of. Silva, who's come on loan from Wolves. He banged in a goal last week in the Europa Conference League. But again, if you could turn up tonight and then get the result against Anderlecht, like you said there, it takes a little bit of the pressure off, and maybe then you can put a little bit more focus on the league and try and start working your way up there. Yeah, I think so, yeah. You're David Moyes. You're coming to this game. What are you saying to your team?
I think we discussed this last time when we spoke, and I can't see where David Moyes actually will change much of what he says. He's got to motivate the new players. They're taking time to bed in. On saying that, the second half of the last game that we played there, I felt that they started to show a lot of promise. In fact, we both felt that in the second half there. We felt there was something happening there, which was good. So he's going to turn around, and I think perhaps, hopefully, say, look, let's try and get something out of this game with Silkeborg. Let's go for it. That's what I feel he'll do. Whether he goes to the extent of saying, well, that takes a bit of pressure off us so we get back in the Premier League, that's our thinking. I don't know with David Moyes. I think he's very much the same in a positive way as he's been. I think he's very positive, and I like the way he's managing the team. So to me, I think it will be the same. I don't think there's going to be anything dramatic, unless, of course, it is, as you've titled this thing, Double Trouble, whether he's going to make a decision on that. If he makes the decision on that, that's different. Then he's going to be telling them, look, boys, go out for it, see what you can do in the first half, because in the second half, I'm doubling up if nothing happens here.
Put the game to bed as quickly as you can. If we can't, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll double up. Yeah, we'll double up. Listen, stay on. I'm going to keep talking, but Dad's going to head. Do we do predictions? I don't know. Do I ask you for predictions? Do you like doing predictions? Do you want to do a prediction? Do you want my dad to do a prediction each week?
Well, I don't mind.
Yeah, well, go on then. Give me a prediction for the game then.
Well, if the positivities are going to come forward on what we've said tonight, then I would say 2-0, perhaps 2-1 to us.
Yeah, you take that. 3 points on the board.
3 points on the board.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So stay with us. I'm going to continue the chat. Dad's heading, and we'll be back very soon. Take it easy. Not going to lie to you, I love it when Dad gets involved, and hopefully he'll be doing it a lot more moving forward as well. So we're going to talk a lot about West Ham, but to kind of touch on the subject of double trouble and Scamacca and Antonio, and I can see the comments in there, and I'll go through the comments. I've been putting them up as we've been going along, but I think the benefit to this would be that I'm not suggesting that we play two up top, but I think that there's no ifs or buts about it. You're going to want to get this result over the line. It's so integral and important West Ham get off to a really good start in the Europa Conference League, because we really want to, within the best circumstances is you can put the competition to bed and then worry about it again in March if you have qualified or even remotely qualified. If you could do your utmost to get as close to qualification before the World Cup break, it's be huge, huge for West Ham. So, 4 games, 4 really big games, 5 games for West Ham before this side of things. Get the deal done and move on, and it'd be really important. So that's why I think sometimes there would be mindset in trying a few different things. Now, I am absolutely buzzing that Scamacca is back, and I'm really buzzing about the spatial awareness that he finds moving forward. I'm buzzing about how Antonio's getting the rest, as me and Dad were saying there. But I can actually see the benefit to actually giving Antonio a bit of a run out on the left and supporting Scamacca up top. And I actually think then what you can do if you were to do that is you've got the ability then to make the substitution and change up the game. So if Antonio is only going to get 45 minutes, you could play Cornet to swap roles with him. Yes, we all want to see Cornet as well. Or you start with Cornet and Scamacca, because for me, Scamacca needs 90 minutes. Like I want to see him fulfill a full game. I want him to stay on the park the whole time, because I think that is what he needs now, is a run of consistent games. So I think that's really, really important for us. So we'll have to wait and see as well. But now, having been given the freedom really to heavily invest in strengthening his West Ham squad, David Moyes has the tools at his disposal. He really does, to bid for, you could say, or challenge for something, maybe a little bit of silverware in the domestic and European front. However, our opening group stage fixture in the tournament was not going to plan for, you could say, 3/4 of the game, with FCSB leading at the London Stadium with 21 minutes remaining. But fortunately for us, Jared Bowen, Palmieri and Antonio all got on the score sheet to ensure West Ham netted 3 times for the third continental fixture in a row. Now, although West Ham's next Premier League fixture on Sunday has been saved from rescheduling, full focus will be on this match on Thursday evening, and Moyes inevitably keen to secure progress to the knockout stages as soon as possible. And despite a mixed campaign for us, West Ham have, and this is something that you might be interested in here, West Ham have won 4 games from our 7 in all competitions. One of our 2 defeats being a controversial circumstances versus Chelsea as well. So Moyes will be toying with the idea of naming a full strength lineup after an unexpected weekend off due to the passing of the Queen. However, Tommy Soucek could make an appearance off the substitutes bench due to an ankle injury that he did have. Max Cornet could also potentially miss the contest due to a knock. Join me for the Hammers headlines as I dissect the Moyes press conference. We'll be keen to see what their thoughts are on Max Cornet as well. Aaron Creswell, Craig Dawson may be deemed fit enough to get starts for this game. Gianluca Scamacca probably will be preferred over Antonio. I don't understand, but we'll have to wait and see once the game is transpired. So obviously we'll have your match day content all tomorrow. We've got Hammers headlines where we'll do the press conference. We're giving you all the information about that as well. We've got your starting 11 coming out tonight, and make sure you do join us for tomorrow. I'm not done. I'm going to go through some of the comments and have a look and see what you're all saying in the comments section as well. And then I will need to go back and get back to my job. Yes, I do have a job. Yes, I do have a job. Not convinced we were ever in for Agadou. Now, listen, don't blame you. The agents have a big thing to play up on, but we do know that West Ham were keen and looking at the player. It's just, it could be down to striking a deal, but we don't know. Lyon are challenging for him as well, so we'll just have to wait and see. But for me, I get it. I see the frustrations in people when you're thinking, why are we bringing in an injury-prone player? But it could be a gamble, and it could be a gamble worth taking. The deal could be a gamble worth taking. This is my opinion. I look at that deal and I think, what would it massively cost us in terms of Premier League money to bring a player of what potential he could bring in? I seen a comment earlier on. Someone said that Vincent Kompany was one of the most injury-prone centre-backs in the world and still was one of the best centre-backs in the world and gave a lot for the club of Man City when he was playing on a regular occasion. So it doesn't mean that it's necessarily wrong to bring in a player who's got a bit of an injury record, but he did play 18 or 19 games as a whole, 15 in the league for Bundesliga for Dortmund last year as well. But we'll wait and see. Ray wants to say he thinks he should bring Carlton Cole back in. There you go. Listen, before we do go, I haven't asked you the one thing and the one thing only, and that is to give me your score predictions. So put your score predictions in the chat just now, and I'll go through them as well. So please give me your score predictions for the game tomorrow evening. Stubborn as a mule is Moyes. Why, if you're watching, can you not use a thumbs up? If you don't like it, tell them why. Well, do you know what, Adam? It's quite a good point. I sit here and I say to you, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment, but we're very open to criticism. Like, why not? Like, if you're watching our content, we want to know that we're giving to you as much information as we can to the best of our ability. So please give us the feedback. Let us know what your thoughts are. If you're not enjoying it, I know some people like music in the background, some people don't. Do you want us to reduce the noise? Do you want us to have it this here, there, and everywhere? We do have a bit of banter. We're getting loads of people on the channel. It's absolutely great. And we're going to be launching a website very soon, and I can't wait for you to see it. It's been in the planning for well over a year, and we've just had a few ups and downs with it, but we're nearly on the cusp of doing it, and we've got some really exciting stuff giving back to you, the West Ham fans, as well. So you will enjoy it as well. Like and subscribe, as Happy Hammer has said as well. What's Pop's prediction? I think he gave it to you, didn't he, as well? Channel 5 want you two as the new Saint and Greaves. It's disheartening to have heard Antonio say, Moyes say, if we're losing 1-0, the mindset stays the same. That's not good, in my opinion. Dynamite is saying 3-0 to West Ham. I'm not going to put this comment. I won't say the name, no. Don't bother me, not my channel. I just worry about the fish. Listen, they're fine. What's wrong with them? Look at them. They're all healthy, and you can see, look, there's number 2 and there's number 1. So don't worry about it as well. I did think we lost number 2 there. Can't even know his name. Winston. Is it Winston? Yeah, it's Winston. I thought we lost Winston last week, but I brought him back, so he's fine. We're there. Don't worry. Moyes has the tools, but sticks with the Poundland version. We're all worried about the fish, mate. That's why people are tuning in. I don't want Antonio to run himself into the ground on the wing unless we are desperate. I want him to top Billion Boys. And that, do you know what? You're probably right. I don't particularly see him starting. I'm just thinking if you want to put it to bed and you can try something a bit new, then you could try it, but you're probably right, Thunder and Joy. We are going to batter Silkeborg. Well, let's hope we can. Can people understand, Anton, as there are only 27 likes? Peter. I'm only joking. I'd love to see both Antonio and Scamacca up front, but they'll both need supply. Show some appreciation and get the likes up, people. I hit the like button. Who hasn't? Does being an Iron Brew taster pay much? This is, yeah, it does actually. It pays really, really well. I smashed the like button. I don't pay for a haircut, Peter. Listen, I'm growing it. Good point. And Peter saying GP needs to get the missus to go over it with. I've had to put. I thought you were going to lie to. I've had to put product in it today to try and maintain it, because if I don't, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. Hey, agents, the players should pay them, not the club. I must say, that's like saying I have a Lamborghini in the garage, but it's always broken down. Right, here we go. Let's go for some of the predictions. 3-1 West Ham from Ralph. Sign him and give Dawson his move. Raywest is saying another 3-1. Matt Hossick is saying 4-0 West Ham. David Stacey saying 7-0 to West Ham. GP 4-1. I'm saying 3-0 to West Ham from Bososuku. Papa Firth is saying 3-0 win. Up, 2 up. 2 down Hammers is saying 3-1. It's a tongue twister, your name. I love it. I do love it. And I appreciate when you came on the channel as well. But I'm like up 2 up. So it's 2 up, 2 down Hammers. We will concede, but we'll win 3-1. 3-1 from a comfortable win. Hard to predict without seeing the team. 4-0 West Ham. Top channel, thank you very much. Appreciate that. 5-0 to West Ham. Corney and Scamacca 2 and Paqueta. You can probably see my mum's coming in the background there. You has said has to be 4-0 West Ham. I've told Russ I want Pat Sharp interviewed, but he keeps saying no. Oh, well, you never know. You've got to stick with the channel and you'll see what actually comes in. You can go by. Don't worry, I've told them all. You can give them a wave as well while you're at it. There you go.
Come on, you Irons.
My little Irish mammy, who's a massive West Ham fan as well. Matt, I wish you are doing a great job. Thank you. No worries at all. Could happen, Ralph. Adam Cook says your show are always great. Can't see why people don't like Winston off to the MLS playing for the fish in these sad times. Winston was sent to the tower next door. I want to see Corney up top. Listen, if I tell you it's Winston after Winston, read it's not. It's actually not. It's actually Winston from Ghostbusters. So that's the connection there. 4-0 from Kingston. Does the channel have subtitles option? Listen, we'll try and innovate and get that for you as well. Shane and Adele, 3-0. Get a hat. I don't get a hat and then you slag me off. I don't get a hat and you slag me off. But I do love it. I do love it. I'm not going to lie. 3-1 West Ham from James. Can't see you ever being a hair model. Anton, I just don't know how. I've never... Yeah, you're right, mate. Yeah, I'm not even going to try and battle it for it as well. 4-1 West Ham. Happy Hammer. Anton is our Scottish Crazy with the magic hat. Is Cordy injured? We have to wait and see. We'll see what comes out of the press conference today. Dawson hat trick. Could you imagine? We need to play well for 90 minutes, just not 20 minutes here and there, and then the confidence will start to flow. Don't care the score as long as we win. Yeah, absolutely. The original Ma Baker, absolutely. Not a lot of traveling fans I've seen for this one. I do think there's an element of listen, the energy crisis is having an effect on people, and I'm never going to dig out West Ham fans for not traveling abroad. I would never expect anyone to do that to me. You don't need to justify why you're a West Ham fan. You don't need to justify spending money. You don't need to justify having to travel and see West Ham. Some people can't, some people can, and the people that can, I'm telling you now, they're in an extremely fortunate situation. And I tried to go last year, and unfortunate circumstances meant I couldn't go to Seville. And if you don't have any surplus of money, like, no wonder it's so tough to get to these games. It's ridiculous, especially going to Scandinavia, because it's not cheap for anyone who is Scandinavian in there coming from the UK. Again, I know the UK is expensive as well, but it's not cheap when we go abroad as well. So free Winston, free the fishes. What's with the new channel? What new channel? Is it a new channel? So Anton's mum is Irish. His dad is a Cockney like us, and he's Scottish. There you go. They're all talking about you in here. Can we get a mum prediction? Mum's score prediction for tomorrow?
2-1 West Ham.
There you go. 2-1 West Ham. A Hammers hat, of course. I wouldn't eat for a week to go to West Ham. Listen, I'm the same as you, Happy. I am the same as you. But if I don't eat, then my kids don't eat as well. But that's not the reason I'm not going. But I understand why people can't go, especially with the crisis that we're in just now. And I'm really struggling not going to games. I've got my season ticket. But I genuinely mean that. Like, I'm really struggling not going to the games. It's a tough gig right now. But I'm hoping that come January, once we've got all our situation at home sorted, then we'll be able to do that. And I'll be back. Evening all, good to see you. Not drink for a week though, Happy. That's a good point. Do we know how many tickets we have been allocated, Anton? I believe it was something like 750. Is that right? Have I got that right? It was really quite a low amount. I'm trying to see here if it's I've got it actually up, but I think it was a really low amount of tickets, and apparently there are some tickets available there as well. Mum wearing a Kim Wilde top. Sorry, I meant website. All right, the website. Yeah, so we're going to do an official launch for it, and we'll explain it. We'll explain it when it comes out, but it's something we've had in the firing line for such a long time, and it will come there, so you will enjoy it as well. We used to score when Ma Baker would make an appearance on Matchday Live. Absolutely, yeah. Let's see if we can do that again. Hi, Darren. There you go. So that's the end of the show. Thank you for giving me your predictions. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, we're shaking it up a little bit. We've got some new stuff coming your way. Stuff I'm really excited about. Stuff I am genuinely really excited about. And I think the biggest key part here is, like, obviously Mum wants to make another appearance. There you go. She's in and out like that. But it's fine. It's fine. It's cool. The thing is, I think it's quite key that you see different faces as well, giving you an opinion. So you may keep an eye on the channel for that, and it will be happening sooner rather than later. So thank you very much for joining us. If you are new around here, hit that subscribe button. We are on the march towards 20,000 subscribers, which is ridiculous. Hit the thumbs up, and do leave your comments after the show's finished. Leave them after the show's finished, so other people can see it as well, and it lets us know, like, what do you want us to do? Any suggestions you want us to do? Name of my mom's don't know. Thanks, Anton. Go, Mum. Go Irons wins for sure. Listen, you're getting a full family affair here, aren't you, as well? Russ and Anton's eBay marketplace would be nice. Sell the knockoff shirts. There you go. There you go. Channel member. People have asked. I've actually had a couple of messages this week. So when you watch the channel, there is an option that says join somewhere. I don't know if you have to actually go into the channel. If you click the join option, there's a couple of membership options. We are giving back to the members. So there's prizes that are regularly won by the people. So I think Trini, who was in here, he got a fully signed strip top from last season with a certificate of authenticity. We signed pictures, mugs, you name it. And we've got some other cool stuff coming your way as well. So do keep an eye on it. And if you're interested, then please check that out as well. So the membership program. Anyway, as we like to do, we like to thank the members. We like to thank everyone, but we do like to thank the members as well, because obviously you help us out for the channel. So stay safe, everyone. Join us over the next couple of days. We'll bring you as much content as can. 5 o'clock press conference tonight. Your West Ham 11 for the game, and we'll see you soon. Take it easy, and thank you for joining me. Come on, you Irons.
You know how. Nothing ever stays the same. Once you let it change. It's like a family tree.